Pacific waters north of Japan. A giant megalodon slices through the deep. A single predator on the hunt. His bulk so massive, the search for food never ends.
This is a shark that was so enormous it could swallow a modern great white shark whole.
Suddenly, his senses pick up a disturbance in the water. He locks onto a lone sperm whale, separated from his pond.
The shark has a remarkable battery of senses. It can actually feel the whale moving through the water. Receptors in its nose allows it to pick up these tiny electrical impulses that are put off every time the whale moves a muscle. The Meg is able to size up its prey before it even sees it.
The megalodon's skin is covered with tiny taste buds called denticles. These allow it to taste through its skin, which it can easily find and identify its prey.
The coloration of Megalodon was ideal for his hunting methods. His skin was darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. What this meant is if you were above the Megalodon looking down, you couldn't really see it. And if you were beneath the Megalodon looking up, you wouldn't be able to see it. His favorite hunting tactic is to come from below and behind his potential prey.
As the man closes in on the whale, he descends in order to surprise him from below. When he's just below the pad, he changes direction and picks up speed as he turns upward.
The jaws of a Megalodon are very similar to the jaws of a great white. There were row upon row of teeth. The teeth located in the very front part were designed for grabbing the prey. The teeth behind were much more sharp and therefore were better designed for slicing.
With sudden fury, Megalodon strikes.
When it opens its mouth, the jaws literally come out of the mouth, and those serrated teeth, both up and down, would have acted like a giant meat slicer.
Rolling its eyes backwards and closing the protective covering over them allows Megalodon to move in close without risking eye injury.
Modern sharks have a remarkable way of protecting their eyes during an attack, and Megalodon would have had the same system. When Megalodon moves into bite, it will roll its eyes backwards and a protective membrane moves forward and protects the eye. But with its other senses in high gear, sight really isn't necessary once it targets its prey.
Experts have discovered broken megalodon teeth embedded in hundreds of whale bones found all over the world, attesting to the fearlessness of this vicious hunter.
He targets the tail because that's the whale's only means of locomotion. And he bites deep into the vertebrae. But like modern sharks, his teeth are designed to break off and be replaced throughout his entire lifetime. Losing one tooth is no big deal when you have a mouth to replace it.
This is no great loss for the megalodon, who makes sure to only sacrifice its dullest teeth in battle.
The whale's tail is nearly ripped off. It's not going to be useful in moving his body.
The Brygmophyseter uses its flipper to steer. It is literally rudderless without it.
44 teeth in its jaws. The front teeth are as long as those of a Tyrannosaurus rex.
The Brygmophyseter sends a sonar signal for help. A blast of sound similar in range to a whirlwind.
It begins to send a signal of thumping noises down into the depths. It's basically a cry for help.
Like the active sonar used by submarines, the whale emits sound waves that bounce back when hitting a solid object. This sets coordinates for both sender and receiver. The advanced mammalian brain of the Brygmophyseter enables it to listen for distress calls.
These guys are actively hunting and seeking prey. This guy's designed to battle giant squid in the deepest parts of the ocean. He can handle his own.
Super sensitive organs in the skull and jaw read the vibrations, creating a sound map. Instantly, the pack's leader
view predatory whales. He's not a lovable whale when we think of whales. This guy's got a massive set of teeth and a pretty powerful set of jaws.
Several hundred feet above, the great shark senses a sudden change in the sea's rhythm. Subtle at first, yet unmistakable.
The sensors in his nose pick up vibrations. He begins to feel a thud vibration. He can't figure out what it is, but the vibrations and thuds become much stronger.
The Brygmophyseter uses its sonar to assess the situation. It knew that its partner was in trouble. Like the great whites of today, the Megalodon charges to inflict fatal harm to the minimizing the chances of being injured in a long struggle. Lurking in the shadows, Meg now waits for his prey to slowly bleed to death. But his keen senses begin to pick up trouble. He's suddenly hit with an enormous battering ram.
The sperm whale hits him dead in the center of his body, throwing the Megalodon's enormous weight in a tumble motion under the ocean.
The Megalodon's relatively primitive brain is too slow to react to the new threat.
Before he can recover, a second sperm whale has come from the depth, and using that enormous head, rammed him like a freight train.
The Brygmophyseters make quick strikes with their battering ram heads in hopes of driving the Megalodon away and avoiding a more savage close-range battle.
He knows there's no way he can take on a pod of angry sperm whales. He's got to get out of there as quickly as he can.
Megalodon does not need air and goes deeper where its attacker cannot follow.
The sperm whales begin to circle looking for this Megalodon. They want to absolutely take out their vengeance on the animal that injured their family member.
The Brygmophyseter uses its sonar to try to track the fleeing shark. The water's darkness.
The whales normally use their sonar to find prey in the darkest parts of the ocean. But like modern killer whales and dolphins, they also use that sonar as a weapon. They narrow the beam and they can actually stun and in some cases kill smaller prey. Well, biting sperm whales could narrow that beam and direct it at the shark, and that would absolutely interfere with all of its sensory organs.
On land, the Brygmophyseter is in luck. It hits the Megalodon, and the sudden piercing blast packs the force of a tidal wave. The Megalodon is once again the victim of its less advanced brain. It's stunned by the sonar strike and unable to react.
Sperm whales now deploy their most deadly weapon, T-Rex-sized teeth. Individually, these whales are only a bother to something as large as a Megalodon. But attacking in a pack, these whales act like overgrown piranhas, and they will tear the shark to pieces.
The clever Brygmophyseter determines that the danger has passed and returns to tend to its
To try to lend their support. They'll actually put their head underneath.
The Brygmophyseter is going into shock. As with all mammals, this is a dire situation.
That injured sperm whale will never recover from such an enormous bite. He's going to slowly die. The Megalodon has never left. He's just moved off in the distance. His sense of smell is so incredible, he's able to track this dying sperm whale 3 miles away. By the time the sperm whale has died, and the Megalodon feast on us. The mistake the whale made was not diving deep with its family. Even though it's a whale and they're huge, Megalodon is a whale killer. It failed to stay within the safety of the family, and it paid the ultimate price.
Megalodon